People of class, welcome to today's new review of the most famous clone faces, other than, of course, Commander Fox, that we have seen in the Clone Wars. So today, I'm going to be reviewing Phase 1 Captain Reetus, which is the Walmart exclusive version. I think there are like one or two more others. I know that there is one other, but the way I tell the difference is that this one has a blue splotched hand. I don't know if it's all of them, but it is just mine. Then I got the standard version of Commander Cody, standard Commander Wolf, standard Commander Fox, which does have a lot of wear and tear. That's when I'm kind of like, maybe I should have just replaced them. And then I got a Commander Stone in the back. So for today's video, we won't go too in depth with everything that they have, especially since Captain Reetus usually has DC 15 and the grapple hook. Same with Commander Cody. I'm not too sure about Commander Wolf. Maybe Fox and Commander Stone have their own stuff, but I'm just gonna be looking at the base bodies. We'll do more of the accessories when we get to the Phase 1 shinies and Phase 2 shinies. Starting off with the infamous Phase 1 Captain Reetus. My one gripe with this, I don't know why they did it. Maybe it was just this batch, but the helmet looks very, very weird. Like, let's say in comparison to Commander Cody, it's not, how should I say, as proportioned. The eyepiece is not a little bit, it's kind of, well, it's a little bit bigger. Then the mouthpiece stretches out a little bit too far, and then the helmet is just elongated. I mean, these both have regular faces under them, but I don't understand why Captain Reetus has to be so much different, let's say. And for a look around, I think because this is the Walmart version, there is a little bit more paint scuff, a little bit more paint detail, which I do absolutely love. My one other thing that I don't really like is that because I got this from someone else, as I'll get into with the pistols, they are pretty warped. So I wish I can just say, oh, he's brand new out the box, but no, he's not. He has seen some things. So I'm gonna do this with the articulation. Taking off the helmet, it is pretty smooth. I do have to say, in the other one that I had, or the first one that I had, it was a little bit rough and tight for some reason. I don't know, maybe that's why the helmet's elongated, so that you don't have that problem. Looking at the face sculpt and just all the detail, man, it is nice. Again, like I said, with the snow versions or snow suits with Anakin and Obi-Wan, it put some detail into these. Going into articulation, it is pretty, how should I say, let's say basic, the standard, the beginning. And for some reason, as we'll get into, they're all each a little bit different, especially Commander Fox. So going up, he can look up that high. Going down, he can pretty much just look straight, and there is nice detail in the back to kind of hide it. I don't really know what to call this. It does move around, so you won't really have any problems with that. The arm going up, this one is a lot tighter than my other ones, so I'm gonna be a little bit more careful. Go up pretty dang high. It's really nice. The elbow, not 90, but a little bit below, but that's fine. Then with this hand, it is a up and down, but because of the paint, it is pretty tight. But you can get all the way down and all the way up without a problem. Now for the ab rotation and the ab movement, I gotta say this was the best part of having them as a kid, because as you can see, there's a slot that goes down the middle, and then it's like a T. It's a pretty nice articulation system, and it does offer a lot, even considering with the armor in it. This is quite nice. So going up, the skirt does move a little bit. This one is not as tight as other ones that I played with, so that is very nice. But you don't get up that much, you can kind of raise it. Then going back, he gets a lot more. There is, of course, no side to side, but knee bend, it's a little bit under 90. And he does have up and down movement. Now for what he comes with, of course he comes with the DC 15, which again I will show when I do the regular clones. I'll pull out this Captain Reetus and all the other commanders, show them with the clones, with the weapons, what they look like, what they have in the show. But for now, since Captain Reetus is mainly just a pistol guy, we will just hold the pistols in there. And as I was saying, with said pistols, as you can see, this is why I don't leave weapons in the hands, because it warps just the tiny pieces of plastic that these things are. But because it is warped, it holds it very, very nicely. There's no fear of it dropping. There's no, well, I think if you like smack it, yeah, the gun is gonna fall out of the hand, but that's with any toy that you mess with. So just be careful with that. Oh yeah, I forgot to show that the wrist on this one, instead of going up and down, I like to say it bone wise, it goes up and down muscle wise or thumb wise, thumb to pinky. And again, just like I was saying with the Anakin, as a kid, man, these were the toys that really got me into posing. As long as you can get just the base idea of it, you can get some nice ideas for what you want to do with actual pose toys. I love it. Now for next one, Commander Cody. So I think this one was left out in the sun a little bit because as you can see with the white, it is yellowed in the stomach and crotch area and like certain parts of the rest of the figure. So I feel like the sun hit it at certain spots, especially you can see it on the paint. Oh, especially on the back, you can see the yellowing. Is it the end of the world? No, but just again, be careful if you get third party. Understand that everyone takes care of the toys in their own way. So we're gonna do this one a little backwards. So I'm gonna take off the head first. It is amazing detail. I love the scar. I love the red eyes. I love the haircut, the hairline, the everything is just The only reason I like Commander Cody as a kid was because of this scar. So this was definitely an amazing toy for me to have as a kid. Going into the helmet, it is also painted beautifully. There is supposed to be a little bit more orange there, but it looks like it was scratched off. And maybe on this print, it just kind of missed the target a little bit because it is kind of off on the center there, but it's not the biggest deal. Then going into the side, the paint doesn't reach to the back, but oh well, it's a kid's toy. There is a nice red light there. Orange antenna. And one thing I learned about customizing some of these clones is that the way to bring out the detail is just to paint this back part gray. They did that amazingly. This is one of my only horns that I have that doesn't really have any weird bumps or seam lines, so I like that a lot. Again, the orange paint is a little bit messed up, but not that big a deal. You get the gist. Chest paint is awesome. Little paint on the antenna here. Seems like it was hand painted, but still cool. Then the crotch and the legs, some of the best of its time, and a great starting point. I love it. Now for the articulation, let's take off the helmet to see that. Go up, he goes a little bit further up than Captain Reetus. I think it's because there's not as much of a back of a head piece on his, but maybe it's the same. I don't really know. Going down, he can look down a little bit more, not a whole lot, and he can do a full 360, same with Captain Reetus. Arm goes up a little bit more than Reetus's, but this joint is also loose, so maybe that's just from play over the years. Arm, almost 90. Then the wrist, pretty sure it is the same as Captain Reetus, where this one is thumb to pinky, and on the other hand, it is bone to bone. Ab rotation, ab posability is amazing as always, no problems there. Then the legs can go up a little bit further than Reetus's. Like, when you really compare them, is it that much? No. But is it to a point where some people may be like, maybe I don't want that guy? Yeah, I mean, they are the same, so if you're fine with that, I say go for it. And then going back, you can pretty much use splits. For the knee, less than 90, and same with Captain Reetus, he has toe tilt or ankle tilt. Now for Filoni's favorite, and I gotta say, maybe my favorite, most detailed clone figure, or let's say phase 1 clone figure. So first thing I do want to notice is that when I got this guy, he did not have his pistols, and just like Admiral Yularen, I'm pretty sure I lost the second one because I dropped them. And I don't know, a lot of stuff happened. But to get into detail, it is absolutely stunning. I love the shoulder print, I love the head print, I love the tiny little triangle on top, I love the antenna on the back. It is very, very thin, but it is rubbery, so no real threat of dropping and breaking it. The antenna is great, shoulder is great. It's, gotta say, this is one of the most beautifully detailed figures that I have. Going to the head sculpt from, this one's tight. I haven't removed this one, so this is very, there's a lot of gunk. I should probably clean this after I review it. From the comic book, this wound right here is supposed to be very fresh, and I think that it kind of is. It's just missing the red, but because of shadow, I think it goes across very nicely, and just a face detail is just stunning. In comparison to Captain Reetus is definitely the pretty boy, where Wolfie is really seen some stuff. And compared to Commander Cody, it's kind of the same, where Commander Cody is really like the, oh, he's a hotshot, but then Commander Wolf just comes in and overpowers. And this is, I don't know when this was released, but I'm pretty sure that because of this guy, this is when the detail and everything just really started to be increased, especially with the 3 little tats on the side of the helmet. And then again, the gray in the back is wonderful. So going into articulation, because this one actually has the smallest helmet of all of them, I don't really need to remove it. So going up, can you really look up that high without his chin popping out? No, pretty much the same. Going down, he can pretty much look straight. Of course, he has a uninterrupted 360. Arm goes up way past 90, and I forgot to show, but all of them do have a perfect 360, no problem. Elbow, not 90, but close enough. Ab rotation and ab posability is stunning as usual. No problems there. Leg going up, same as them, just a little bit less. It can't really go that far, but then going back, you can do splits without a problem. Apron or skirt also does move around nicely. One thing I also really want to point out is that a lot of figures have different kinds of pistols. They have different kinds of grips, so do know if you're trying to replace the pistols, you have to get specific ones. Like Admiral Yularen, he has a thick one. Commander Wolf has more of a standard that goes with Captain Reetus, but you have to get the gunmetal version. Going into the most hated commander of them all, with a very long neck, and one of the first to not have a sculpted head underneath, which he shouldn't, because we never see his face, is Commander Fox. I have to say, without all the paint scuff and whatever, this guy is stunning. I even want to fix up the paint, just not out of respect for him, but out of respect for detail that was put into this. I just love it, and especially when I learned about what he did to Fives, and then what Vader did with him later, it was kind of like, okay, I like him a little bit more than I did before. So going into posability, the head can go up pretty nicely, actually. It can go down, he can look down, but he can't really, look down. The arm, just like the rest of them, goes up very nicely, full 360, no problem. Elbow bend is not 90, but a little bit under, but it's alright. Then just like the rest of them, he has a wrist to thumb going up and down. Then on this arm, he has a, thumb to pinky. Now on this one, he has a wrist to wrist, so you can get some nice poses with that, and also don't have his pistols. I don't know which ones you're supposed to be, so I'll have to test them and try them out, and I'll do that later. Out crunch is nice. It doesn't really scratch paint, which is great, so there's no real need to fear there. Blades is just like the same. It can go up a pretty nice amount. It can go back and do splits. Also, something cool I just realized was how the belt and the ends of the skirt were painted. That is very nice. Legs, knees, wonderful. I mean, not amazing, but they get you what you need. And then he does have a toe tilt. And last not least, with one with the coolest name, Commander Stone. I don't know if he is under Commander Fox because he sent it, but I'm pretty sure he is. So one thing that I love about him is just that it's like the Commander Wolf. I love the arm printing. It's like the head is very messy. Some of the paint just kind of bleeds, but it's alright. Other than that, I just love his design. This is when Star Wars is really like, yeah, we'll make a clone that we'll throw away after an episode 2, but we'll make sure you remember what he looked like. Especially, I love that they gave him a face even though he wasn't really known. I love how they gave him no hair, wonderful tattoo on the back of his head, and then he just has stubble. He has nice face detail, a little tattoo on the side of his head, I can't really read it, and he just looks great. I love that they put this much effort into a one-off or 3-episode, maybe, I don't know how many episodes he was in, clone. Other than that, man, this is where I was talking about in my earlier videos with Yularen, where they kind of turn more statuesque. Because as you can see with the difference, I would do Commander Cody just because he doesn't have a skirt. The thighs and the hips are sculpted differently. On this On the regular bodies, they're pushed down a little bit, but on this one, I feel like they're supposed to be more realistic. So I'll start with the leg pose ability just because it's the most shocking. You do not get a lot. Going back, you don't get all the way, but you get enough to go back for the knee, and there is no toe bend. So this is where they turn into statues, but one of the cool things is that they have a little divot for the knee armor. Going back to the top of the head, let's take off the helmet. He does get a nice down where he can look down, and then a very nice looking up pose. For his shoulders, they're a little bit different as to where they can't really bend up. This is where I get really picky, but like, ooh, do I really want to collect them? Not really for posability, but I'll collect them just to finish my collection. And then the arms, way more 90, way slimmer. I think it's a smaller bicep but bigger joint. And then there is no thumb to pinky movement, there's just rotation at both of the wrists. So you can't really get good poses with them, and there is no ab movement at all. This is now just a plank of plastic. But he does come with 2 amazing pistols. He does kind of have 2 trigger finger hands. Well, I mean if you cut out the pointer finger on this one, but it's weird. In some of them they have trigger finger hands, but on this one they don't. Maybe this was the first batch, but I don't know, maybe I'll research it to find out. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. Again, every time that I bring up the clones, or maybe I get a new version of their Jedi Master, I will be bringing these guys out again so you can get another look at it. So one thing I would highly recommend is just look at which version you're getting. With Captain Rex Phase 1, I know that there's a highly posable one, I just can't find it. With Commander Cody, there might be another version, I don't know. With Commander Fox, just look for a clean version with the weapons and everything included. Don't be like me just saying, oh, it's a Commander Fox, let's get it. No, please research, please look at him to make sure he is what you want. You do not want to have to put work into a figure that in bots is $40. Commander Wolf, freaking no problems there. And then Commander Stone, my only problem is that this is when they make it to him being very statuey. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will next time be doing a slew of random commanders and maybe their clones, so we can get started on that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Peace.